We finally hit the big time because I've been streaming for 7 years. This means I'm ready to hit TV syndication and ready to enter the big leagues. Perhaps I should work on a commercial to commemorate the occasion. Drive out to the Sierra when the mist is out, have a costume or two for my favorite sprites, and just look back on the 7 years and how much further up to starry I can go. It'll be clear, wonderful, and will be totally fine. So while I order some lemon and limes, here's the Stream and Review 2023. This go around, I managed to not make any stream-specific purchases for the year, so my investments have remained the same. Looking to the future, I'm still very interested in an internal capture card, and the idea of getting a new camera certainly crosses my mind from time to time. I imagine those purchases will be far down the line though, as the necessity and even the desire feels pretty low. And here's how Twitch looked in graphs. Despite doing a pretty good job of streaming around 4 hours Monday through Friday, a few releases warranted some extra playtime. January was Ephemeral Fantasia, March was Trails to Azure, and July was Trails into Reverie for the spikes in hours streamed. Those spikes translate decently well to channel views, while follower count continues to be a mystery on all accounts. For game stats, we're taking a look at genre first, and as per usual, anything with RPG in its name sports itself high on the list in average viewers. Puzzle games went up significantly in count due to multiple co-op games during Christmas week, while tactics games still give everyone a run for their money. On the platform's end, PC games continue to dominate as I've been very inclined to purchase digital games when available. That said, I've been making the shift back to physical copies when the opportunity arises, so this number could go down as the years progress. Other than that though, many of the other platforms didn't have the greatest sample size, but PlayStation 2 certainly stands tall. Here's the weekday stats and another yearly reminder that they don't mean much of anything, but they can be fun to look at sometime. For stream length, short streams continue to make up a large portion of them. This is largely due to my preferred cutoff time of 4 hours streamed. In many instances, I'll end a stream minutes before the 4-hour mark is hit to avoid getting caught up in something. Still, long streams continue to bring the ruckus, as has been the trend. Game releases are next, and almost half the games I played were within 3 years of their release, while 3 additional games were within 3 months. These are some stats I've been interested in changing and have been mulling over the repercussions of it. I'm not sure if 3 months is enough time anymore for new games and may toy around with the idea of increasing it to 6 or maybe even more. That said, I'm definitely surprised at not only the average viewers for new games, but the live views and watch percent as well. When looking at these stats, it makes me think 3 months is fine. Something to continue mulling over. Moving on to the top days per stream, which I recommend pausing for. The spike for max and live views were due to a raid from Steel Series and a pretty entertaining clip about me not getting distracted. Other than that, Scarlet Nexus and Ephemeral Fantasia get some accolades, and I even squeezed in a 15-hour stream. And to wrap everything up, here's the top games for the year. Again, Ephemeral Fantasia gains multiple accolades, achieving highest hours streamed, hours watched, and watch percent, which is very unorthodox. In fact, it's the first time it has happened where a game has held the same position for all 3 of those categories, let alone first position, as watch percent typically becomes the weak link. And that's Twitch 2023. In total, I acquired 44 followers, 6,343 channel views off of 1,093 hours streamed and 35 games played. My average play time was 29 hours 14 minutes and my average time to complete a game was 7.3 days. And a huge shout out to my subscribers who continue to support me. I made $214.62 from that year of streaming. Thanks a ton for your generosity. For the Let's Play channel on YouTube, here's the graphs for the year. Overall, it's been a relatively stable year and relatively consistent. For October, I slow-rolled the release of Final Fantasy XVI to help maintain my lead on my release backlog. Typically, I like to be about 2 months behind in case I run into any issues, which usually translates to 4 to 8 games depending on the length. And transitioning to the top 5 game stats, I'm going to have these cycle by, so I encourage you to pause where applicable. This is partly due to me wanting to change how these stats are displayed for any future releases, but not 2023. Up to and including 2023, I've been collecting this information individually. For each game, I manually enter watch time, total views, percent viewed, and view duration prior to script writing, and this year I felt the fatigue. It took me 4 hours to record that data for 193 games, and each year, that investment increases. As far as I'm aware, I can't make the process any faster as I can only display 2 groups in advanced analytics at a time. So going forward for 2024, this data will only show the top 5 games that were released for that year, rather than every Let's Play that has been released since inception of the channel and how they performed for that year. In the grand scheme of things, this will have a pretty drastic effect on the data, and I could change my mind, but I'll gain more time to stare at my desktop wallpaper as I pretend I'm doing something. I think that's a decent trade-off, don't you? To wrap up the top 5, here's the individual game performances. Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2 having high view duration is very out of the ordinary, while Disciples Liberation having high watch time and views is neat to see. The game always came off as niche, but perhaps not. For the hobby channel on YouTube, here's the graphs on how it did. And I know what you're thinking. Axelrod, you said you were going to work on releasing more videos during the year, and instead you released way less. Well, you got me. My release schedule has slowed down significantly, and that's mostly been to me wanting to build a backlog. I've experimented with this in the past, and I like the feeling of being ahead and scheduling things out for the future, so that's mainly what I've been working on. Level Up This Playlist will be taking a back seat while I hunt down more soundtracks, and I'll start releasing Pantheon hopefully sometime in the near future. The Encounter Report is still alive and kicking, and those should start seeing the light of day as time goes by. Currently, I'm in a rough patch with it where I've got multiple back-to-back reports to work on without the break of non-Encounter Report games. So I just need to slowly overcome this challenge, and I should be on track for steady progress. To close out, in total, the Let's Play channel earned 106 subscribers, 70,745 channel views, and 1,090 videos published. My average days to publish a completed Let's Play was 13.2 days, and the average number of videos per Let's Play was 33.8. For the hobby channel, it earned 7 subscribers, 371 channel views, and 16 uploads. Another huge thanks to everyone who has watched and continues to do so for both channels and beyond. I appreciate it. And that's everything I got for the Stream and Review 2023. I want to thank everyone for not only watching this video, but being a part of the streams and VOD watchings, as it all contributes to this wonderful data. I also want to thank my co-hosts Dante, Cynesis, and Rot for another year of E3 and the Game Awards. As I look forward to 2024, I might as well call it 2023.5, as I think I'll be playing many of the 2023 releases then. Here's hoping I can fit everything into my schedule. Thanks for watching, appreciate it, see you on the next video. Peace. The next track is Kyusha no Ri, and admittedly, this... bars. That's the first thing that came to my mind, and that's what tripped me up. Oh, I'm still recording.